Well, not sure I've been involved in many games where we have more turnovers than baskets and win, but proud of our team, gritty, gutty, finding ways to get stops at the end. I thought the physicality, what I was worried about going into the game, really bothered us at the offensive end. That's what they've shown on film, that they're disrupting everybody right now early in the league, in the season, and it's their identity. And we didn't handle it as well as I wanted, but we brought back a fight, and was proud of that group. I rode the starters and Rakia a lot of minutes tonight, but that big lineup, a big credit. Rakia really guarded Samuelson well in the second half, and keeping Cam and Dearica out of foul trouble and on the floor together was huge. So the first one's always the hardest, and so proud of that young group to come up with our first win.
Coach, speaking of Rakia, there were a couple of plays throughout the game where, her hands just active defensively. She disrupted a couple of their sets, their forced turnovers, and that big block at the end of the game. Just kind of, what have you seen from her on that end of the floor? Not just tonight, but just overall.
Yeah, it's interesting because, when she plays the four, she's playing against people, the best position in the world in our league. And she's outmatched with size, but when she goes back to the three, she's got length and size. And so you see that some of this disruption tonight as she played more three. But, she's learning schemes. She's learning our rules and our shot clock, and she's learning the physicality, what's happening to her now. You can already see her going, okay, this is how we can play at the defensive end too. So, again, she was big tonight offensively. She can just go get you a basket. And I know she had some turnovers late, but just really comfortable with her on the floor right now.
Coach Edwin Garcia, Swish Appeal. Cameron Brink had a +11, the highest plus minus on the team. I know that doesn't always tell the whole story of a game, but in a game where she had played 30 minutes, was +11 and only scored 4 points, how was she able to be a dominating factor in the result?
Yeah, her presence, even when she's not blocking shots, she's altering shots. Her ball pressure on their post players that were facilitating from the perimeter, she's a factor. Proud of her staying out of foul trouble tonight against Olsen and Austin. Again, we've got to find her more shots. She's unselfish to a fault. Even when she gets catches, she's just not a natural hunt for her own offense type of player. But that will come. But her immediate impact here as she, gets accustomed to playing in this league is certainly at the defensive end. And again, big play at the end of the game, with another block and alteration of a shot.
Mark Medina on the right.
Yeah, on that note, though, the last play, what goes into making consecutive stops in the same possession?
Yeah, it's communication. It's, a will to, stay in plays. And being very disciplined. Those last plays, we're all trying to get someone to make a mistake and try to get a two-man action where someone overcommits one way or the other. So you have to be really, really solid and stay really disciplined in that situation. And I thought, we did a really good job in late game special situations defensively. Our special situations offensively were great, but we did what we needed to do to win.
Aaron?
Coach, congratulations on the first win. Eric Lampkins the second, Culver City Observer. What did you learn about your team tonight, and how is this group compelling you to grow and evolve?
Yeah, I think what I learned was that, I'm very scout heavy, probably the most scout heavy coach in the league and have been for years. And so I tend to highlight what our opponents do all the time. And so some of my teams be like, well, coach, we're physical too. And when we got to the locker room, when we talked about the physicality and we talked about, are we going to have that aggression back and that competitiveness back? Would we have it? And we did. So what I learned is I got a really competitive group. We are young. We're going to make mistakes. We've had 13 practices. I have a lot of new players in that top six. Half the top six is my first year with me. And a lot of players off the bench are in their first year with me. So we're not going to look aesthetically great in the month of May, but we'll get better and better. But I learned that we have a tough group.
Coach, LT was Tiki Sports TV1. I thought you guys did a great job of limiting them to one shot, despite the turnovers. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, with 16 defensive rebounds, Dearica led that charge. I think at halftime we had 3 people with a rebound. That's kind of unheard of. And Dearica was the only one rebounding. So we challenged more people to get on the boards, but as you see, it was really Dearica that dominated the defensive glass for us. And we did a good job. They had 3 offensive rebounds pretty early and ended with 7. So, I thought we did a much better job in the second half, obviously, of holding them to one and done.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, DJ from Infinity TV. We saw Lexie Brown bringing the ball up and handling the ball a little bit more. Was that a part of the plan, or was that an adjustment that you made during the game?
Being able to have one of the guards out and playing a bigger lineup and sliding Rakia down to the 3 can happen with Dearica and Cam are out of foul trouble and fresh enough to go. Dearica's motor, she would probably play another game if I rolled her out here right now. But, her motor's just crazy. But it allows us, when Cam's not in foul trouble, it allows us to play Rakia more at the 3. Again, we're a 6'6" player down and Azrae Stevens not here. And so it's desired. And so when we take out Leja, we slide Lexie from the 2 to the 1. We had success with it despite the loss against Vegas. So we wanted to relook at it tonight. When we can get out and transition, I really like with Lexie at the point. Again, she hasn't run point. I told you not 1 second of training camp. So running late game situations, execution, when we get slowed down in the half court is a work in progress for everything, but really credit Lexie. It says I took her out for 7 seconds. I don't think I did, but the box score says that she got a 7-second rest.
Hey, Coach, Judo Kanyas, Annenberg Media. I'm wondering about your rotation heading towards the season. Right now you have a 6-man rotation. I'm wondering if you're broadening that as the season goes on, and maybe you're not getting contributions from the bench. What do you want to see more from the bench as you go through the season?
Yeah, I have confidence in the bench and told them afterwards the same thing. And I thought we did have contributions from the bench. Rakia comes off the bench. I thought Stephanie Talbot's 5 minutes were really effective. Could have easily gone back to her. But Rakia was in a role, and so Steph plays the 3, so we rolled with Rakia tonight. But Stephanie Talbot is a pro, is a proven, a bona fide piece of the puzzle of championship teams, and she's coming back off of her in ACL. But I have total confidence that way. Zia Cook's going to have a good second year, so that unit I have a lot of confidence. Lee LaRue dominates in practice. You guys haven't seen what she's capable yet. I'm really excited about what she brings, a different type of physical, big center presence for us that's really skilled. So that group is coming. Like I tell them all the time, it's deposits in the bank. The more equity you put in the bank for me, the more you're going to get your opportunities. So we're coming up on a 4-game after we start again. We'll play 4 games in 7 days in 3 different cities. So, the bench will now have to start really, really playing more minutes.
Oh, here we go. Coach, Michael Matthew with Family TV. Just when it comes to Dearica, I talked to her before the game, and she said she talked to you guys in the offseason and said, hey, I want to be an all-star once again. I want to be the number 1 player on this team. What have you seen from not only the practices, training camp, but also the game so far that's showing you guys that is somebody that we can lean on?
Yeah, well, first, she's an incredible competitor. She's got a great motor. And she's really hard to guard because of that. But what she's off to is an efficient start. She's playing within the offensive system and finding her opportunities. We're not running a ton of plays that are Dearica plays. We're running actions where we think Dearica can be successful in, and our guards are finding her. but she's creating a bunch of her own offense because of her motor, and she's getting out in transition. She's rebounding. She just is an incredible worker. As she said, she has a lot of personal goals for herself this year, and she's really doing a great job on the glass. Not only is she scoring efficiency, but the rebound numbers have been really impressive out of the gate.
Hi, Coach. Nia 5 at the 562. I was just wondering your overall feelings after getting this first win on the season.
Yeah, really, wins are hard to come by. And, in this build, we're not at 100% right now. Every win is huge for us, for our confidence in what we're doing. And so, really proud of them. It was two teams that mirrored each other, that are trying to find an identity, that are certainly both of us have an absolute direction that we're taking right now. And it's fun, it's fun. We're both scrappy. We're both play our tails off. I coached all those years against Mike Tebow, Eric. We believe the same way. We like the same players. I still like Carly Samuelson, and so it's fun. I always said, Mike always made me better. Now I look forward to these chess match with Eric. So just truly exciting for us to get one in the win column, and now we're in a homestand. So can't wait to be in crypto, and should be a huge crowd with Indiana coming.
Joseph.
Hey, Coach, this is Joseph from the Bet on Her Collective. Can you walk us through the final clutch plays? There are a couple of moments there where the team showed a lot of resilience. What was the poise like? What did you guys talk about in the huddle to kind of keep the team together?
Yeah, I think real late, we turned our focus to our stops and our defense, because we didn't want to dwell on the turnovers or the lack of shots that we weren't getting because we were turning the ball over in those situations. And then, it's always important to execute. It's easier said than done to get the ball inbounds to get fouled. There's an art to that. You have someone you have to trust out of bounds. You have to get the ball to people that you trust to make foul shots. And I thought in late game situations with a young new team, we executed well with our out of bounds plays to get it in and get fouled. That's never underrated from a coach's standpoint. So many teams lose in those situations because they just can't get, even though they're going to get fouled, they can't get the ball in. So I give our players a lot of credit to execute to that situation tonight.
We're going to go to Zoom for Cameron and Ruby.
Hi, this is Cameron Ruby from the Next. I'm just curious, the post play was obviously pretty serious tonight. Cam played really good defense at the end and stayed out of foul trouble. I was just wondering kind of what it's like in practice, kind of trying to get her to that point where she's able to be on the floor for 30 minutes.
Yeah, she's such a good rim protector and help side defender that, she has to pick her spots on, when to come and be, force around the rim. She was really challenged tonight because we put her on Stephanie Dolson, and Stephanie Dolson's going to pick and pop and really space the floor. And so she tends to want to chase the ball off the ball because she is such a good rim protector and help side person. And the challenge was, you've got to do both. You've got to be able to guard Stephanie Dolson on the perimeter, and still we need you to come at times to the rim and help us with your size. So, she is a sponge, an absolute pleasure to coach every day. She's got a positive attitude. She's got a learning approach. She wants to get better. She wants to be told how to get better. So I love working with her. I love the positive attitude. The offense will come. She just doesn't naturally look for her own offense, but she's really talented. So it's only a matter of time.
Last question.
Hey, Coach. Just one question on Rickea Jackson. You said pregame that you had a mantra: fight for the role you want, be a champion in the role you've earned. I'm curious, how has Rickea Jackson done that both in practice and games, and what you've noticed in these 3 games and in practice so far?
Yeah, same kind of thing with Cam, right? A little bit overwhelmed, I think she would admit at times, with everything that we've thrown at her in these first 13 days, on top of trying to ask her to play 2 different positions in the greatest league in the world. But the openness to it, understanding that we were bringing her off the bench. She was rewarded tonight because of her play in Vegas. That was the equity. She put some equity in the bank. She made some plays early that allowed us to stick with it and go to that lineup again in the third quarter. So, it's all a process. And, I think she's seen that she does the little things, she keeps growing, she keeps learning, she's going to earn more and more. So just really pleased with those two. I mean, you guys, if you knew what was asked of them right now, representing us and the opportunities they have off the court, and then still come to perform every day, every morning, the lifting and the extra shooting and the film work before we even get to practice. And then they're going to go represent us at the Dodgers game, and they're going to go represent us, which is so important to build our brand back up to what has been a long time, a championship and the gold star of our league for so long. Those two are going to help bring that gold star back, that people are going to want to play in LA. People are going to see what the Sparks are going to be again. And it's not going to happen overnight, but what we're asking of those two on and off the court, it's pretty remarkable of how open they've been, how receptive they've been, how easy they are to coach. They are truly, truly special people.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Oh, she started fast. She got a lot of free throws. She started fast, and then free throws. Right there. It really is here. She a pretty shot. Nice. So.
Yeah. Hey, DJ from Infinity TV. This question is for Dearica. I'm over here. Hey, Dearica, you've been on an unbelievable run. Tonight you have a number and a stat in almost every column. Can you talk about your motivation and the athleticism that you showed tonight?
My motivation is, well, first and foremost, my kids, but just wanting to help this team and help this organization. And I feel like I gotta give myself grace, but last year when I came in here, it looked a lot different. But like I said, just wanting to help this team win.
Hi, Dearica. Viking News, Marika. But my question for you is, what is something, even though you had this victory today, what is something that you feel like the team maybe might have lacked during the first and second quarter that you guys maybe want to fix before going against Indiana Fever?
Yeah, turnovers. I think That's pretty obvious. So we got to take better care of the ball. It's going to be really hard to win games in this league with the amount of turnovers. I don't know what it was, but turnovers for sure. Turnovers.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? John W. Davis back here with the Southern California News Group. Talk to me about the third quarter and fourth quarter runs. How did those feel in the moment to be able to kind of turn the momentum your way?
Yeah, I think we just picked up the pace on the offensive end. We want to run. We have such dangerous threats at every position, especially in space and when we're up and down. As y'all can see, we're in pretty good shape. You know, the Mystics, credit to them, they're also in extremely good shape. So they came out and punched us first and we recovered, and those runs were fun.
Yeah, I would say we got to our spots better. I think we matched the physicality a little bit more. The refs let us play the first half. We got a lot of like the dives in the pockets that we didn't get the first half. That opened the floor up more.
For Lexie, Coach was just talking about how he didn't play you at point at all during training camp, and then this past game against Vegas, despite the loss, that he thought you had some success there. And then obviously tonight getting an extended run at the one in the fourth quarter. I'm just kind of curious, what's your comfort level right now in terms of being the primary playmaker?
Yeah, I think last season I was one of our better playmakers after Jordan, especially in the pick and roll. And when I have teammates like I have that make my job easy, I love being in the pick and roll with Dearica. If I'm not open, she's open. If she's not open, I'm open. So, she's one of the best in the entire league at what she does. And in the off season, I just worked a lot on my handle. I know I'm going to get trapped a lot. I know I get a lot of elite defenders, every night. So I had to, go in the lab and work on some stuff. So having that trust in him means a lot to me.
First question, Lexie, let's talk about that block shot you had at the end of the game. And I believe she got the rebound. So let's talk about that block shot first.
I blocked the shot?
Did you block the shot on me? That was it?
I thought Cam did.
At the end of the game?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take it. No, that last possession, we knew that was a must-stop possession. So credit to the whole team. We locked in, communicated, and got that stop at the end.
And then, Dearica, you did a great job of limiting them to one shot and everything. So let's talk about the rebounding from your team tonight.
Yeah, just being aggressive on the boards. I felt like I couldn't really put the ball in the basket the first half. But there's other ways that I can contribute to the game that still gets me going. So,
thank you. Hey Lexie, Ashley from Switch Cultures. I've seen all your off-season workouts. You've been training ridiculously crazy, putting in a lot of work with Chris Johnson and Corey. Can you talk a little bit about the translation of the off-season into in-season, some of your goals?
Yeah, I had a really busy off-season, first getting healthy, which was really important to me. So we took care of that first, but I was in the gym almost every day. Some people wonder what I'm doing in all my free time. I am in the gym. I don't really post about it that much because this is work. For me, it's work. It's my job. So I spent a lot of time with Chris and Corey in this off season, and I have so much love for them because they even tried to help me last year when I was trying to come back. They pushed me in ways that I didn't think was possible. They lifted me out of a very, very dark place, when I got sick. So the things that they've instilled in me, the skills that they've given me in the off season are coming to help me. Corey told me all off season, you're going to run the one this year. You're going to run the one. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm a two. And we're in game 3 and I ran the one for the majority of the game. So we were prepared for that. And I give them so much credit for that.
Tuning in with the LA Times, Dearica, you only had 2 points in the first half. Just how did you kind of stay focused and stay poised to kind of come back in the third quarter? And I think you scored the majority of your points in that quarter to get you guys back in the game.
Yeah, I didn't think my looks were bad. So just reminding myself, like, you're not playing bad. They're just being physical with you and the refs are letting them play. But I like physicality. So a reset when I went into the locker room and I did my little affirmations and I just was able to absorb it a little more in the second half.
Well, ladies, just to talk about you guys' defensive effort on tonight, you closed the game with a defensive stop. What can you attribute to that? And just, the play of Cam and her ability to protect the rim?
Well, first and foremost, our game plan was to limit Carly and Atkins, and I think we did our guards did a really good job of that. So we kind of forced their post players to try to beat us, and you can't be good at everything, so you had to give up something, and obviously the bigs got some points, but we won.
Yeah, I mean, the rookies, they're playing a ton of minutes and they're doing a great job and picking stuff up really easily. Cam staying out of foul trouble, which is amazing for us, and her presence down low has been so game changing for me personally as a guard. We can get up and ball pressure a little bit more, be a little bit more physical and aggressive on the perimeter. So she's been great.
Jeremy Wolf, the Corsair. Congrats on the win. There's going to be a lot of hype coming into the next game on Friday. Obviously, being at Crypto, is there any extra motivation for you guys as players, or is it just kind of take it as another game?
Yeah, I mean, we're excited to be at Crypto, but it's another game. Doesn't matter who or what, but it's about us and how we can get better. We got an off day tomorrow, and then we're back in the gym.
This is a question for both of you. Your last two games, you're coming up short. Today, you finally get to win in front of this home crowd. It's rocking. How do you guys just feel first victory?
Yeah, coach kind of talked about getting the monkey off your back. It's always the hardest win. But we have 2 winnable games coming up, and it's nice to get some confidence going into it.
Yeah, I mean, we needed that one bad, and we all felt it. We were all looking at each other on the bench like, we got to win this game. So like Dearica said, monkey off our back, and now we can just continue to grow and learn throughout the season.
Thank you, ladies.